You know the plan has always been to hack your brain. MK Ultra's trying to drive you insane. They'll explode your heart if they think that's what it takes. You think I'm answering the phone? Well, I ain't. You gotta keep the curtains drawn, cause you don't want anyone thinking you're at home. Well, you're not. You should tape the mail slot. And baby, if I seem withdrawn, let me say it's cause I just don't wanna go and get whacked. Maybe you should know that the trauma affects you like it does everyone. It's just the game plan, it's what the world's become. They want a pat down and a swap. Don't you see what's going on? Well, now you know. You're better keeping on your own, cause you can see the masters lie too much. Oh baby, you can only trust yourself. And if you think the system's out of touch, it is, and you can only trust yourself. I hope you know the elite aren't your friends. They'll suck out everything from you in the end. And if for some reason you think I might be wrong, I wonder where you got that opinion from. You gotta keep the curtains drawn, cause you don't want anyone thinking you're at home. Well, you're not. You should tape the mail slot. And baby, if I seem withdrawn, let me say it's cause I just don't wanna go and get whacked. Maybe you should know that the trauma affects you like it does everyone. It's just the game plan, it's what the world's become. They want a pat down and a swap. Don't you see what's going on? Well, now you know. You're better keeping on your own, cause you can see the masters lie too much. Oh baby, you can only trust yourself. And if you think the system's out of touch, it is, and you can only trust yourself. You might think that these problems are small, or maybe they aren't registering at all. Now they know you're naive and vulnerable. You won't believe all of the stunts that they'll pull, cause you can see the masters lie too much. Oh baby, you can only trust yourself. And if you think the system's out of touch, it is, and you can only trust yourself. Cause you can see the masters lie too much. Oh baby, you can only trust yourself. And if you think the system's out of touch, it is, and you can only trust yourself.
Almost all people are hypnotics. The proper authorities saw to it that the proper belief should be induced, and the people believed properly. Charles Fort. Good evening, everyone. This is your host of a show no one watches live anymore. I hope you're having a good evening, and if you're watching this at another time, I hope you're having a good day. Tonight, I'm just gonna go over a few things, just kind of things that I've been thinking about, not necessarily going into a whole lot of things to show people. It's just kind of things that go through my head while I'm watching this. Again, I have more time during the weeknights than I do on the weekends, on the nights of the weekends, to look into a lot of things, just because I'm spending time with family, and that's number one. So what I am going to talk about, let's go ahead and switch it over to the browser. And actually, I'm going to switch it over to, let's see, not the browser in Zoom. Yeah, let's do the browser in Zoom. Okay, so quote of the day, it was by Charles Fort. If you don't know who Charles Fort is, I'm with you, because I don't know who Charles Fort is before, because I never really knew about Charles Fort until I looked up some quotes. And what's interesting is that he's someone that I'm going to have to look into. He's back in 1874 and 1932. That's when he passed away. He's an American writer and researcher who specialized in anomalous phenomena. The term Fortean and Forteana are sometimes used to characterize various such phenomena. People who admire him refer themselves to Forteans, and influence some aspects of science fiction. I mean, this is ways back. So I'm probably going to do a little bit more research into him. His biography looks interesting. One of the books he did publish was called, it's a nonfiction. It's called The Book of the Damned. And let's see. It concerned various types of anomalous phenomena, including UFOs. Now, this is back, first edition 1919. This is pretty interesting for UFOs way back then. Strange falls of both organic and inorganic materials from the sky, like it rains cats and dogs and frogs, whatever. Odd weather patterns, the possible existence of creatures generally believed to be mythological, disappearance of people, and many other phenomena. So it's the book that's considered to be the first of the specific topic of anomalistics, and that's going to be interesting. I want to see what's there. What I've been doing recently is looking back through newspapers from since printing press, really, from like the late 1700s to even the early to mid 1900s, and just seeing what I could find there. And that's something that I'll be continuing to look through. What's great is that the Congressional Library, that they have a search engine. They've got all of that stuff. That's all digitalized now, so you can look back and see what a lot of people were writing about, the news. And what's interesting is not a lot has changed. Not a lot. If you look at a newspaper now compared to back then, bulk of everything's pretty much the same. You would think over 200 years or so that a lot might have been different. That's not the case. Okay, so that's Charles Fort. You're gonna see me do more research on it, and I'll probably go into a little bit of in-depth of Charles Fort and his work. I know that's hard to do because, I mean, a whole lifetime of work boiled down to, I mean, most of my live streams go on for hours, and I'm gonna try to do it quicker. So try and do it quicker. I don't really care about how quick I do a topic. I just feel like if there's more to talk about, I'm just gonna keep going. I'm gonna do it justice. All right. Moving on, let's talk about agents. Social media agents. I don't know. The reason I call them agents is because I don't know exactly what these things are, whether they're real people, whether they're just part of AI, just scouring people, content creators, and just putting things out there. But every time, a lot of people you would call them trolls, but trolls, you get bored. I used to be a troll. Like, I would go more for like the system, people who are high up in power, etc. I would troll them. I wouldn't just troll people like me. For example, I have 991 subscribers as of right now. 991 subscribers with 687 videos. I mean, I put up a lot of content, a lot of time. spent in it, but not a lot of content. But not a lot of views either. I mean, the stuff that I do now, like these on topics, I used to get in the hundreds. I don't even break 50 these days. I barely break 50, and it has to be something pretty I don't know what you would call it, pretty dumb, more about cult of personalities type of stuff. I mean, just Jason Momoa Aquaman is like 25 seconds or something. 15,511 views. Anyways, what I'm doing is I'm purging a lot of these comments of these agents. And the reason I call them agents, I don't know their name. I don't know their faces. They don't even have videos. For example, let's oh, and also, before I go into that, even my the one I'm live streaming on now for YouTube, I've got 123 people subscribed. I even get less views than I do on my main account. And yeah, it's I mean, I still get a lot of views on something like that, like the Jason Momoa. But of course I can't. This is my second YouTube account because my first one I can't live stream. So let's go back to my main. So like there's, for example, certain people I've already purged a lot, so you won't be able to see the things that people write about. But Devin Kuhn is an example, of course, right? Devin Kuhn. One person who does frequent, or probably not anymore, he's gonna have to have a different name. There's a person called Stable Progressive Genius, or Stable Genius Progressive, whatever it is. First of all, he's not stable. Why go around to a YouTuber or content creator on their YouTube and just kind of troll on a like daily basis? Anytime I do something that is just, yeah, it's, look, I don't lie on anything. I don't fake anything. I just show exactly, I expose people who fake stuff. I expose people who lie. That's what it is. All it takes is one thing, just one lie, one fakery that I do. Just make your own video of it. It's fine. Expose people to me of the I'm a shill or a liar or whatever. You won't be able to because I don't do that shit. So yeah, every time I expose something, he's like, oh, liar, oh, he's a pedophile, oh, blah blah blah, whatever. Just like this Devin Kuhn, right? What this video is showing is not the whole picture, and of course can't spell whole. It's been edited to make like he's grouping his own tournaments reality out. It's altered. It's clickbait. So let's go to Devin Kuhn. Who are you, Devin Kuhn? Are you really a guy, a real person? No, you got no videos, no uploads. You got 1 subscriber. Yeah. So what I do is I just go here. I'm sorry, you're gone. Who did I take away someone's free speech? I don't know, Devin Kuhn. I don't know what he looks like. I can't hear his voice. I don't know what his voice sounds like. And you'll see that these agents all the time, you don't see what they look like. You don't know if their name's real. You don't know. They don't have any videos. So I'm not taking away anyone's free speech. I don't know who you are. Who did I take away their free speech? No one, because they're no one. There's some agent. There's social media agent. It could just be AI making all these comments. Like if you were an actual person that had a lot of subscribers, I'd be a little bit more hesitant to remove you and your responses. I mean, you could still be an asshole and I'll probably still remove you. But that's the way it is now. Because look, YouTube's not doing it. I'm gonna do it. Fighting fire with fire. If they're gonna take away my free speech, take away my videos, maybe I'm getting a lot more views, because I definitely get a lot more views on Periscope than I do on YouTube. I get a lot more views on, I used to get a lot more views on DLive, which is really weird. Now I don't get much on DLive either. But of course DLive's all about gaming. Just a lot of gamers go there. Okay, that's it for the agents. One of the things I've been looking into, oh, actually let's move on a little. Let's keep going there. If you watch Owen, I've recently been watching a little bit of Owen Benjamin stuff. Good, okay. Some of it, if you look at a lot of these people who write up a lot of stuff, that are definitely trolling, or I still call them agents. I don't know what to say. Let's see. They're usually one-liners or pushing some weird agenda, especially the mainstream agenda. But they use a lot of word association with the right, which is really weird. I don't get that. All right, let's see. I used to see a couple of things. Let's see. Can't find it. Let's see. Here we go. I think this was it. Teddy Goodman. The Earth was proved round in 1851 by a Frenchman. I mean, we don't know if that picture is here. It has uploads, and all he has is some race car game. That's it. 2 years ago, little views. It's like, okay, I'm done. I'm just gonna go ahead and subscribe and talk about stuff. Never once showing anything else. No one subscribed to him. See, it's just weird. He spends so much time on YouTube just commenting. Nothing else. Nothing else. Nothing of worth. Not that they even try. And of course, I'll bet you this John, right? He's a commenter. I bet he's got some videos up. Oh, he's got 78 subscribers. He's got videos that he has up. A lot of them probably edited. He's got a good amount of views. I mean, he did a lot way back then. He still does some now. Well, I don't know what he looks like, but at least he's making some videos. So you're gonna see through this. It's not hard to find out who you're dealing with here. I just don't know what these things are. These agents. I used to think they'd be paid, right? Just people who go on the internet. They're paid by some entity, some organization, and just comment on things. I don't know. The weird thing about that is, I don't think it's working very well. And how much are they getting paid? I mean, I could see if they're from like China. Like if they're from China and they're just getting paid little, and you know, they learn a little bit of English, or they just have a translator, but they have to be told. I mean, how do you verify that they've done a full day's work and a decent amount of work? Just, it's like, you need to you need to, you know, whether it's some algorithm saying, hey, you got to go to these websites, you get a list at the beginning of your day. You have to go and reply, and just this is the types of things that you have to say. You know, this is the way how you have to say it, and you have to do 10 replies a day on each of these sites. You got 200 sites. I don't know no one's exposed any of this. So how do we know that's the case? We really don't. No one's saying, hey, I work for an organization and we just hire trolls and we pay them, and this is how they do their troll work. And then all of a sudden, it's like, hey, you over there, you're assigned to this guy, because this guy, he hasn't broken 1,000 subs yet, and his views, you know, they average on like 30 views, sometimes not even 30. I'm on like 10 views a day. It's like, you're assigned to this guy, and his videos are 3 hours long, by the way. And so, what's the guy's reaction? Oh, really? Damn it. And it's like, hey, this guy, he removed all my comments, so how am I gonna disturb this guy? It's like, just create a new account. Okay. So they're gonna create like 20 different accounts, whatever, just to reply on YouTube. See, it doesn't make any sense to me that's the case. And I'm still making videos. So it's like, hey, you're this guy, you're assigned to this guy to stop him from making videos or move him to different videos. It's like, why is this guy still making videos? You're supposed to thwart this guy with your replies, with your trolling. Guy goes, look, I've tried. I've gotten other trolls to come in, disrupt this guy from saying what he has to say. He keeps doing it. It's like, well, we're going to give you more money, spend more time on it, or think of something else, or, you know, you're assigned to someone else. No, they're still there until they can't say anything. Then they get a new one. So it's like, why would you still hire this person if they can't even do their job? They can't even stop someone like me who's got no views, no subscribers, from investigating what I'm still investigating and saying what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense. So I somehow think maybe it's AI. Maybe they've got AI, and AI understands kind of the agenda that it's supposed to follow, and that anyone who's not following these types of agendas, they get a lot of replies on their video, and it depends on the views and the comments. So if there's a lot of views for a video, they start commenting. If there's a lot of comments on it, they comment back. I don't know, but thing is, some of these agents do reply, always reply back. So I don't think that's AI. I mean, AI can't handle that kind of conversation that well, I wouldn't think. Who knows? So these social media agents, interesting dynamic. You can't really find out who they are. They don't have their names. They don't have their face. They don't even have their voice. Sometimes you don't even know if they're human. They could be AI. And there are some people, some agents, I would say, are people that they're just normal trolls, or they're paid trolls. But then again, why wouldn't you fire these trolls if they couldn't get people, content creators, to stop talking, stop investigating about certain things? It's like, I've been on here for what, 2 years? 2 years now, I guess, that I've been constantly making videos. It's like, hey, this guy's going on for 2 years. Why aren't you doing your job? I'm doing my job, sir. You know, don't fire me. I'll keep doing this for another 2 years, 4 years, 8 years. I don't know what they, like, when do they fire these people? Maybe they are government workers. Oh, and look, there's a government shutdown. So are they still doing their job? They're still doing their job, even with the government shutdown, right? So can't be the government doing it. It has to be some private entity. So yeah, that just kind of weirds me out. I want to do a little bit more investigation on it, but it's like, it's really not worth my time. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. Okay. So I asked a question. Oh no! Before I go in here, I question everything and everybody. Let's see. Oh, is it? I'm trying to find it. Okay. No. Damn it! I have to find the video again. Oh, no, it's here. Okay. So, A Stranger's Guide to Flat Earth, 21 Questions and Answers, ODD Reality. I watched this stuff. This is back in July 30th, 2016. I don't know if he changes anything. But here's the thing. If you're going to disprove the flat globe Earth when you're trying to institute flat Earth, you got to explain things scientifically. That's the only way you're going to win. You're going to have to out-science the scientists who aren't doing their science. But you can't do that when you don't understand the science in itself. Although it is true, scientists can't really explain gravity too well. But here's the problem: is he's trying to explain gravity, how it's not what the mainstream idea of gravity is. And I'm just gonna go and play it back, and I'll pause it afterwards.
Works because of density. No need to factor in imaginary components. Quote, the law of gravitation is said by the advocates.
So he says it's about density. You could go on, but it's not about density. You can do a simple experiment, right? You get a heavy book or metal can, whatever, it doesn't matter, just something heavy and that has a surface area. And then you get a feather or just a sheet of paper. Okay, you get the heavy book and you get the feather or just a sheet of paper, and you drop it and lay it as flat as you can, not vertical, just flat. and you drop it at the same time, you're going to find that the feather drops slower, or the sheet of paper drops slower than the book. So that kind of supports his, hey, it's about density. Well, now do the same drop, but this time put the feather or the sheet of paper on top of the book, because it's going to have some drag from the air. Now, if you drop that, you're going to find that sheet of paper or the feather, it's going to drop at the same speed as the book that's underneath it. You can do this experiment right now. Just find something that's light, doesn't have as much density as another object, but whatever that is, whether it's a feather, whether it's paper towel, tissue, whatever, lay it flat right on top of the book. You're going to see it drop at the same speed. But if you drop them separately, of course the book is going to drop faster because there's no drag. Anyways, I just wanted to put that out there. He does have some good stuff, but you know, you gotta really understand what you're saying. And I like this guy. You see, I think people know his name. People know what he looks like. He's on a lot of his own videos. He puts work into his stuff. And then there's a question that he emailed Mark Sargent. It's the same question as my last video. Is what's causing, in a flat Earth situation, what's causing the solar and lunar eclipses? And here's the answer I got from Mark Sargent.
This one's called, what object is causing these solar and lunar eclipses? Hi, Mark. I don't think anyone has even posed this question. Oh, I doubt that. I think we've looked under just about every rock you can think of. But maybe you'd know, in the day and night model of the flat Earth, there's no way a solar or lunar eclipse could ever occur. So what object is causing the solar and lunar eclipses? The third object, potentially the black sun. Thanks, Ebon Kim. I think I'm going to go with Mike Helmick's thing, where he did a video earlier in 2018 where he was saying that the eclipse was that the eclipse, when it happens, it's self-eclipsing. Meaning that the like the moon, like when you're in a planetarium, the moon is waxing and waning crescent, right? But there's obviously nothing going in front of the moon because you're in a planetarium, and yet it still happens. That's because in a planetarium, the moon is self-eclipsing. The system is shutting down part of the light source. Same thing can happen with the sun. So that's what it is, in my opinion. Again, we never ever thought of a waxing and waning crescent for the sun. It's always just been the sun, because 99.9% of the time it's a full-blown disk sun. But when you see it with the eclipse, it's not, and then it all of a sudden occurs to you. That's very interesting. Mike Helmick's, I loved his line. He goes, nothing is eclipsing the sun. I go, what are you talking? He goes, there's no three-dimensional object that's passing in front of the sun. It's doing it on its own. Fascinating.
I can't go with that. That's just not. It doesn't make sense. Self-eclipsing, there's nothing passing over the sun. So I kind of had to go and look at Mike Helmick's. Sorry, this is some other videos. Gosh, did I just not find where it went? Okay, so this is Mike Helmick, his site. And I'm going to play it back. I didn't really watch the whole video, see if it explains it. He says, the August 21st, 2017, shocking, nothing blocked the sun. I just kind of want to see what he means.
Mike here. Glad you all could join me. Today was Eclipse Day, August 21st, 2017. I have been tracking the eclipse all day. I've been receiving photos from all over the place. We did get an eclipse in Spain. We got an eclipse in the UK. And the various camera places I had set up for the eclipse, unfortunately, were chemtrailed out. There was heavy chemtrailing all over today. We have recorded it from 6 a.m. till eclipse time, and the chemtrails were just crazy. Before we get into what I found, first of all, NASA photobombed the ISS, passing in front of the eclipse. Of course, as usual, they're lying. You pasted that in. You can see the square box there. Get that out of the way. What we're looking for today is maybe that Zedic Earth glass black disk passing in front of the sun, or maybe looking for the moon and its angles, or, you know, something besides what we did find. Because, folks, what we found passing in front of the sun is absolutely nothing. Nothing's there. What you're looking at here is a photo from David Weiss Ditra. He sent this to me on Skype. And I'm going to show you many other photos. We spectrum analyzed these. Well, Chris Monk did. He used a different method. I used Photoshop, and some other people also tried, and we get the same results. There's nothing there blocking the sun. Okay, so what I did is I took David's sun, put it in Photoshop, reversed the light just to see where the light was going and to see what was blocking the light. The problem is there's nothing blocking the light. There's nothing in the way of the light of the sun. The sun is giving off light as normal, as it would be shaped that way as you're seeing it there. This is very, very odd. This is totally unexpected. And we were looking for something totally different during this eclipse. Here, this picture was sent to me by Robert on Facebook, and the same deal. The light pattern is not affected by any object blocking it, means there's no object there. And so, you know, here's the same object. I just reversed it so you're seeing the light part of it. What we did notice is there seemed to be a gathering of light where the sun apparently was supposed to have an object in front of it. We did notice that. This picture here was done by Chris Monk through a spectrum electro something wave analyzer. Anyways, not Photoshop, something totally different. He gets the same results when he was tracing the light paths out through depth. There's just nothing there, folks. Here is another version of things he attempted, trying to get something to show up to block the background light waves, but there's nothing there to block it. Folks, nothing caused the sun eclipse today but the sun, as far as we can tell. So while we had flat earthers dangling balls over the azimuthal equidistance map, the ice wall map, trying to show how the eclipse would work, and others were arguing with me over the west and east shadow, it's all wrong. Just forget all that. It's a whole new ball game now. Welcome to flat earth. It just gets stranger. I don't know what's going on. I thought I was going to find something today, and wasn't there. Nothing's there. And I'll keep you updated. We have theories, we have ideas, we have some very top people working on this. And as soon as I know something, I'll let you know. This is Mike. Like and subscribe.
I don't think that it's nothing. It doesn't prove that there's nothing there. There's nothing picks up. It's very much an anomaly. Here's the thing: a lot of flat earthers say, maybe not even flat earthers, just people who just observe, people who don't want to become a flat earther, is when you look at these solar eclipses, you don't see the object until it's eclipsing. So if it was the moon, we don't see the moon. I mean, the moon should be there, right? They should know exactly. You've got all these software programs. What was one that I used to read something? I can't remember. Anyways, there's a lot of astrological software programs out there. Gosh, it's something like Redshift. Redshift is one of them. It's a long ago type of software, but you don't see look, moon before solar eclipse. You should be able to see it. You should be able to see the moon before the solar eclipse. And when you do see something, and of course you're going to see it through like PBS, this lying ass station reason, because I'm a flat earther. Sorry, I'm a flat earther because of PBS lying, editing a video of that should have proved flat earth or debunked flat earth, but they didn't. Using Stephen Hawking's name, PBS were debunking flat earth. Unbeknownst to them, the editor or whoever gave them the okay didn't factor in 3 birds that are flying across the water. So when they edited the footage, you get that same 3 birds going across. Unmistakable, undeniable, 2 different video versions, but the same 3 birds flying across those 2 different video versions. So thank you, PBS, for opening my eyes to flat Earth, and fuck you also. Serious, no one wants to be a flat earther, but everyone is a flat earther because the globe earthers are liars, and no one can prove the flat earth as being wrong. A lot of flat earthers can prove that the globe earth is pretty false. And that's the thing, people have the wrong idea that if you're glober, you're supposed to prove globe earth. If you're a flat earther, you're supposed to prove flat earth. No, that's not how science works. It's a theory. You come up with a hypothesis and you run experiments, and it seems, hey, this looks likely. So people prove it wrong. So what globe earthers are supposed to do is to debunk flat earth theory. And what flat earthers are supposed to do is debunk globe earth theory. You don't have to go and prove your own case. That's a little bit redundant. You know, it's easier to disprove something that's out there than it is to prove something that is out there. So that's all. That's what science is supposed to be. I guess maybe science this day is different than science back when I grew up in my teens. Just like feminism is different today than what feminism was back in my day. You know, things seem to change within a few decades, and it's just weird. Oh, one of the things I want to really get into is Mandela effect, but I'm not quite there on that. I just had my thoughts on Mandela affected people. All right, so let's see. Like, I'm trying to find what it looks like, you know, what object looks like that's eclipsing the sun, except you never see it. Every eclipse, and you can look for it yourself, every eclipse that occurs, you never get to see the front of what it is that's eclipsing the sun. Nowhere. You don't see it before the eclipse happens in the sky, where it should reflect some surface so that you should be able to see it before it eclipses the sun. You should be able to see it from another angle, from another position on the earth, to see that it is the moon, because the sun's reflecting off the surface of the moon on some side of the earth, because the earth is supposedly 4 times larger than the moon. So you've got some surface area where you can actually see the moon going into the full eclipse. Even though you wouldn't be able to see the full eclipse, you should be able to see it. ISS especially. But that's never the case. And of course, they'll just depict that. No, it's not the moon. You never see a live picture of the moon. This is what it looks like. You don't see any depiction of actual moon except PBS, the live. Go on in any other. I mean, you should be able to see just a sliver of the surface of the moon before it starts to cross the sun's path, but that's never caught on camera ever. So many people are absorbing this event, and no one ever seems to think about it or witness that the moon before you actually get to see the solar eclipse occur. It's only depicted in drawings or fakery that PBS does. So yeah, that's just kind of the thought on the eclipses right now. One of the things that we'll be doing is the super wolf blood lunar eclipse that's occurring on January 20th of 2019. Yeah, it's not good stuff that's going to happen that day, I have a feeling, but I'm gonna go ahead and observe it with my camera. I don't really have a telephoto lens, but what we're witnessing, the moon you can see very easily in the night sky, and it's gonna be pretty close to the Earth, as they say. So I probably won't have to zoom a lot, but I'm sure a lot of flat earthers, or just people who are just into space and the stars and the skies, whatever, they're going to go ahead and record that with their P900s or P1000, the Nikon, that can really zoom far. And we'll see a lot of videos out there for it, I hope. So let's see, what else do I have on topic for tonight? Let's see. Yeah, kind of went over all of it. Yeah. One of the things I was looking at is in history, the depiction of eclipses. There's one site I kind of looked at, eclipsewise.com. Kind of, I don't know about that. I just want to look through pictures, depictions. They never show in these pictures, in these paintings, that it's the moon. It's never depicted in any of these. They depict it like it is, unlike PBS. Fucking PBS. I used to like PBS too. Of course, when you're woke, you don't like any of that stuff anymore. You don't see any of the depiction like PBS shows. That it's the moon. It's not really the moon. So I've been doing a lot more research into the black sun, and oh man, black sun goes deep. It goes deep. When you start researching into the black sun, oh man, it crosses a lot of things tied together. So, just like who is the guy that I quoted yesterday that I was gonna look into a little bit more? Let's see, he's on my promo quotes. So let's see. There's a person that I quoted from yesterday. It was Claude Lévi-Strauss. So he looked into a lot of mythological components, stories across different time periods and across different geographical areas, and just kind of tying them all together into just really simple myth memes. And this is pretty far back in the late 19th century, early 20th century, I think. And now we've got Charles Fort, who also studied a lot of that stuff, and just the anomalies. So here is the earliest known painting, solar eclipse. And so I'm trying to find anything here that's just dealing with, do they really show or know what it is that is crossing the path of the sun in these early depictions? And you don't. They drew it exactly like they saw it. And there's a lot of different myths. The Indian myths, I'm not talking about Native American myths, but like Indian myths or the Hindi myths. Very interesting when you get into eclipses and their stories. And this is very, like, when you start really thinking and looking into details, and again, if you don't want to be a flat earther, you don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, you don't want to be whatever truther, you don't, if you just want to stick to your own talking points that you've been talking about, how you're going to fix this world the same day, like every day, every year, repeat the same thing. It's like, hey, we just need to fix politics. We just need to get rid of religion. We just need to have this ideology and all this other stuff. Same thing every day, every night. Just focusing on the same thing, hoping that it'll happen. Like Hillary Clinton is gonna win in 2020. It's just the way it's gonna be. I know I'm not a Trumper. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Hillary Clinton supporter. I just know that's gonna happen. That's my predictions. It's the only real prediction that I have. I'm sorry, it sucks, but yeah. But like everyone that I know that I've started off doing my streams with, they're all like independent, third party, Green Party, whatever. I'm sorry, there's going to be no one that's going to be elected in 2020 that's going to be a Green Party member, much less the president. I'll put any money on that. I'll put any wager on that. Give me $1,000, $100 million, money I don't have. I'll bet on it. You know what? No Green Party is going to be elected in 2020. You're going to have, hell, a Justice Democrat. And a lot of people who watch this, they don't really like Justice Democrats. Will be elected into office in 2020, but not a Green Party candidate. Again, people will push for Green Party candidates because that's all they know. That's all they can think about. So yeah, looking through just early depictions of what this object is that's eclipsing the sun. They don't show it as the moon. They don't paint the moon as crossing the sun, eclipsing the sun. They never paint that. You can look through every painting in history of mankind. You will not find one painting, let's say one painting before 1900, of the moon being the object that's eclipsing the sun. Isn't that weird? You would think all the paintings that occur throughout history, time immemorial, whatever you wanted to say, they never show it as the moon that's crossing the earth. National Geographic, PBS, all these mainstream corporate entities that you know, they lie to you and fake stuff, they'll depict it. But throughout history before the 20th century, you won't find one depiction that they're saying it's the moon that's eclipsing the sun. So that's kind of where I'm going with my path. The next thing is just, although I won't show any videos of it, and again, look, no one watches my stuff, so why even troll our agents? Why even be assigned to me? I used to have people who would like chat all the time. Just go back into my any video that you have where you see like chat 2016 crawling with chat, crawling with people who are viewing it. No one watches it anymore. Why? Because maybe I'm too crazy for you guys, for them, for people, I don't know, but I have a feeling it's more like I'm someone that you can't watch because I'm getting too close to something they don't want other people to see. But it is weird. Once I start talking about something that's very popular, I get a lot of hits. Showing something that's very popular, get a lot of hits. And then the agents come through the woodworks. Right, so I don't know. I guess that's it for today. One of the weirdest stuff that I heard, because every once in a while I kind of go back and listen to some things about Mandela effects, because I am one of the Mandela affected, and it's weird. I think a lot of people that are Mandela affected are around the 40 plus age, because we used to just watch a lot of stuff, a lot of movies, a lot of shows. They were good back then. Cheesy now, but good. I mean, now it's hard finding just a good series to watch. I mean, sitcoms were funny back then. I don't know about the sitcoms now. I don't know one sitcom that I watch. I mean, I watched Curb Your Enthusiasm for a little bit way back then, but it wasn't that good. It still wasn't good as Seinfeld, in my opinion. Cheers was good. Night Court, I mean, good stuff way back then. None of that now. So the latest Mandela effect was Publishers Clearinghouse and Ed McMahon. I remember Ed McMahon as being there, Yeah, there'd be a huge check, flowers. They'd be walking from a van or something, knock on a door saying, "Surprise, you won." But you know what? Ed McMahon never appeared on, and they say Ed McMahon never appeared on a publishing clearinghouse. And if you go look it up, they'll say he worked for another company that's very similar to Publishing's Clearinghouse, but he never made any videos like that. They say there's been never any video of Ed McMahon walking out giving a big check to somebody. This is where the weird thing happens, is like there's so many people that have that memory, and it's a shared memory, and it's not something like, oh, Publishers Clearinghouse, Ed McMahon, you know, you're gonna tweet about it and social media and all this stuff. It's just something that is like, we watched it, it's in our heads, it's something we remember, and it's nothing like, it's nothing great. Maybe we remember it because it's like, hell, I want to win the Publishing's Clearinghouse, because I'm pretty sure everyone out there my age, even I did it. I wasn't even old enough, I don't think, to sign up for the Publishers Clearinghouse, but I signed up for it. Maybe one day they would come up. The thing is, back then, the way that they did it was, and they do things like that now, is you sign up for it, you have to get like, you even get 3 or 6 issues of magazines for a certain period of time, and after that period of time runs out, they start charging you for it. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to opt out by calling and saying, hey, I'm opting out of the magazines because I don't want to start paying for them. But every time they no, it wasn't me. It was my brother. My brother would do it. My brother would he would sign up for that, and I would just look at all the things, and they would keep mailing back saying, you're close to winning. You're one of the top few who has been chosen to win the Publishers Clearinghouse. And you just have to do it. So you just get so many subscriptions of magazines in order for a chance to win the Publishers Clearinghouse. You know, you never won it, but that's what it was. And when I next talk to him, I'm gonna ask him, because I think he's affected too. He understands the Mandela effect. It's just weird that it's just a thing now, the Mandela effect. That there's so many things that are different than what a lot of us remember. I can understand a few, 1 or 2, whatever, just kind of getting it wrong, but like hundreds or thousands, maybe even millions. It's just, I don't think it's millions, it's a few thousand. And that there's so little amount of people. I think there's a lot of people like me out there. I think they may have given up. I mean, look, when you start streaming something and you get like 10, 20, you break that 100 mark, you get certain videos where you might get 1,000 views. You're like, holy crap, I got 1,000 views. And back then there was some incentive, like with YouTube, was like, wow, you know, you get like 1,000 views, you might make a quarter. Maybe if you had 100,000 views, I'm getting close to certain videos. I think that might be getting up to like 26,000 or something. But you know, if you keep getting those types of videos, you would get some money. But now it's like I get less and less people viewing. I get less and less subscribers. Like I haven't broken 1,000 subscribers yet on my main channel ever. And I think majority of that 800 plus are people who fish and like watching fishing videos. I love fishing. I love watching fishing videos. So, you know, those are one of the things that I like doing. So I think I get a lot of subscribers for that. They'll never watch anything like this. They go, oh, it's an on topic, I can skip that. That's fine. And less work for me. I don't have to go ahead and add a playlist. So it's pretty interesting. And the further you look back, the weirder things get. That there's just so many coincidences, yet a lot of people. And this is what I hate about scientists these days. Oh, yeah, that doesn't fit in. It's coincidence, or look, people back then, they were apes. They were like cavemen. They couldn't think, whatever. They knew some shit back then. Good shit. Like math. More people back then were smarter than people now. So yeah, cavemen. Maybe Geico's right. Even a caveman could do it. Humans right now, they can't do it. They're so hypnotized, brainwashed, dumbed down. And I can see why certain people stop. All you see are these social media agents coming around. You get less views, you get less subscribers, you don't get paid for it. It's like, why keep going? And the ones who do are usually the ones that just they found a way to monetize. They still get views. They've got some sort of personality. A lot of I could, and I think Owen Benjamin, to his credit, says it right. Wizardry. There's a lot of wizards out there. Wizardry. I mean, I can do it. I'm pretty sure he can do it, but we refrain from doing it. If I didn't show my face, if I had a different title, and I'm pretty sure I could create a just as an experiment, a channel that gets more subs, more views. Just I don't ever have to show my face, or if I do, I just just find someone who has a little bit more personality and just say the talking points, add in a little bit more visual stuff, not just me talking, and some music in the background or music in the intermissions, and something, make it comedic, make it inspirational, something, just a lot of wizardry is all it is. People, and look, I'm guilty of it too, except I notice it a lot more. So if I'm watching something where I'm wanting to get information out of it, if they have a lot of music in it, a lot of special effects, I'm off. I'm kind of turned off. It's like, I don't know if I really care about what the information I'm getting from here, just because the wizardry that's involved. Like, I understand you're gonna want to use the wizardry just so you can get people to watch it. Sorry, I don't want to do that. Therefore, you'll see my face, you will hear my voice, you won't hear background music, elevator music, whatever music. I may put out some videos out there, but like, for example, the video of Jason Momoa Aquaman and his kids, and that little snippet, that was from Stranger Than Fiction. All right, I got from that video because I looked for it. I looked for it on the internet and I couldn't find where it originated from. And then eventually someone commented and they referred to the entire link, and it's from like a local news site, which reminds me I'm gonna have to go and record that so I have it in case, because what I've heard last is any of those people who are showing that video calling Jason Momoa or Aquaman, whatever, a pedophile, he's suing. Sue me. I didn't call him a pedophile. I just said, don't watch if you like Jason Momoa or Aquaman. There's a reason why I term it that way. I want to know what people think. A lot of people think differently. So I don't think they're going to take it down, but I've got so many hits on it. Great thing is Owen Benjamin, he actually showed it and talked about it. He called Aquaman pedophile. Yeah, not me, and I don't state that in any sense, form, or whatever. And litigation purposes, whatever. I don't know. The thing is, I don't know. I just thought, like, look, if you're a fan of Jason Momoa, you don't want to watch that video just because it'll make you think. So that's that. All right. Well, it's been an hour. I'll keep it at that, and we'll see you another night.